Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and over this last weekend I did a Celtic festival where I sold quite a few pair of hair combs. I had 8 pair, I'm down to 3. I like to at least have 6 for each of my shows, and I have one coming up in less than 2 weeks, the Idaho Renaissance Fair. So we need to make some hair combs. So I've got 3 pair designed down here, so we're going to get started on those. Let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Hello again. Originally, when I started this video earlier today, I had planned on finishing the whole thing. However, the painting has taken long enough that I have decided that we need 2 videos as opposed to 1. So today's video will be the painting of the pieces for these 3 hair combs. I had thought that I would put the second half of the video up later today, but then I decided that no, we would do our live tomorrow like normal. These would not be part of it. And putting the hair combs together will be Wednesday's video. So I hope you enjoy that. And I hope you enjoyed watching me paint these. And we will talk to you all later. Right here we have our 3 sets of hair combs. And what I'm going to do is this pair is going to be the simplest pair. We're just going to put this pretty little gold piece on top, glue it down here with some E6000. And then we're going to put a teacup on one side and a kettle on the other. Like kettle. So this will be 1 and 2. Now the kettle and the teacup have to be painted, but not the other pieces. The second small one is going to be this piece is going to go along here like this. We're going to put a hot air balloon on the larger side, I should say, and these will be opposites. So the other one over there is the bottom pieces were the same, but these will be going either direction, and it's going to have that hot air balloon and a little moon. So it's going to sit like this on this one, and it will be going the opposite direction on this one, like so. Now the hot air balloon and the background, the hot air balloon is going to be painted with the paint pens like normal, as is the 2 teacups and the kettle. The moon is not going to get painted at all, and we're going to alcohol ink the silver piece that's going to be their background to give it a sky look. Now for the last set, this is going to be a large one, and we're going to take 2 of our leaves here. Ooh, I got loose hair on that one. And they're going to go like so. And we're going to have this flower go in the middle. Bing. And then a butterfly on each one. Now they're going to start like this, both of them, but the butterfly will be going opposite directions for the others. So butterfly will sit here. Now if I feel like it, and I haven't decided yet, we'll put a jewel right here in the middle where the hole is in the flower, and that will add a little bit more something to it, like the butterfly is maybe sucking nectar from the little hole. So that is our pieces. So now we've got to get our pins out and paint these. Well, butterflies will also be using some Prima paint because we like to give them that extra little glittery. So let's get our mat out and we'll get started painting. Put them on the mat. I brought some pins down. What we're going to, we can just get the teapot and kettle done first. So we'll just push these things up. We're not going to do anything else with these. Though actually, well, we'll worry about it later. Now, one of the things we need to do is take our clippers and clip off all of these rings. So once we clip the rings off, we'll need to take our file and file down the rough edges. So there's these two cut. I don't think anything needs cut on the butterflies and flowers. No, they don't. But we do need to cut the loops off of the hot air balloons. Come on, you. Go. And the moons. The moons are little, but they do have a little loop up at the top. So now we'll get these will need to be alcohol inked, but they will get done last. Now we will get our file out to do our little moon and hot air balloon. There's this one. Okay, now that we've got all those filed down, we're going to start painting. Now the first thing I can do is these pieces don't need painted. All of these need painted, and only and the background on these and the hot air balloons need painted on this one. So we can slide these pieces that don't need to be painted up here so they're out of our way. And we'll start painting our pieces that do need painted. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tea in my teacup. So it's going to have brown in here. Well, actually this is copper, but and this is a Morphone metallic marker that I'm using. I got mine on Amazon. Now I have to decide what color I want my teapot and such to be. I think it'll be this darker pink for the teacup. Now I'm doing my best to get all the edges, but not to go over. So there is our teacup, and because our teacup was pink, we're going to let the base part of our kettle be pink as well. I think the handle and the spout will be pink as well. And then this little piece right here in our cup, our teapot's lid. So now that we've got those pieces done, we'll get out the purple, I think, to do our saucer. And then on our teapot, we'll have the bottom piece here, this 2 stripes, the top of our teapot here, and our little knobby. So there is our teacup and our teapot all finished. They're all ready to be sprayed with a sealer as soon as they dry some. And oops, it looks like I missed a little bit on our stripe right here. Come on, stripe. There we go. So now our hot air balloons are probably also going to be pink and purple, though we could make them green and pink or green and purple. But I think we'll go with purple and pink. And our basket here, of course, it's a basket, a wicker basket, so it's going to be brown. So we'll paint our brown basket. And we'll paint one portion of this of the bottom of it purple. Now there's a little stripe along the base of this right here. So we'll try to just do that in the purple. Now I have gone over a little bit, so I'm going to have to let this dry a bit, and then we will put the pink in the upper stripe there, so that will. But first we're going to take this lighter pink and we're going to put it on the top here. Okay. Now this is probably dried some, so I'm going to take our darker pink and we're going to go over this stripe here. We'll try and be careful to keep it in its stripe area. And there is that hot air balloon. And Now this one's done. We just have to let these two dry, and then they can be sprayed. This will be one of the last things we do, because the alcohol ink I haven't got out yet. Now these flowers I had decided to paint them this pink. Again, these are Morphone metallic painters. You want the, if you want to go buy some, they may not have Morphone anymore, I don't know. I also have these as Staw, because I think they're the same pens. I just think they're put out by different folks, because they perform the same and such. Now these are supposed to be permanent markers, so they say you don't have to spray them, or seal them, but I tend to spray them with a Krylon or Rust-Oleum clear enamel to seal them. These paints are actually designed specifically to paint on metals, rocks, and glass. And they say, I've never really tested the thing, but they say that once the ink dries on the piece you put it on, whether it's metallic or glass or what have you, they say it becomes permanent. I don't know that for a fact. Be nice if it was, but I don't know that for a fact. I have never tested the theory to make sure of that. So there's our pinks, our pink flowers done. Let's get you guys down here. Next thing I'm going to work on is the leaves, and then lastly we'll do the butterflies. The butterflies have to have some other paint as well as my paint marker, because those are the ones that get a special paint to give them some glitter. So now we're going to take our leaves, and we've got the green. This one is the Staw one. And we're going to take the light green. I've got two greens, a dark and a light. This one is Morphone. And go over there, pens. Then we put the light all over the middle. On all four of these. Now, because leaves tend to be variegated, I now take the darker leaf green, and I'm going to go up and around the edges and let it go into the lighter green some, so that it will start getting that variegated look that I was just talking about. So there's number one leaf done. Now, because a leaf is variegated, if you get some spots, you can take your darker pen and go in, or you can bring your light one back out. I'm going to go in with the dark one here where that spot was. We'll get this last little bit of green here. Okay, now we need our last green one. Okay, now our green is finished. Now, of all this stuff up here, we still need to paint our butterflies. And then we'll need to alcohol ink the these pieces, a blue, and then we will get out the Prima paints to add the little sparkle to the butterfly's wings. Now, because the butterflies, I'm going to make them monarch butterflies that we want to, we're going to use this paint marker. And we're going to paint the wings, all but the very outside, in the orange. And actually, I probably should have done these earlier so that this side could dry so that I could get the other side done, because I do paint both the sides of my butterflies, the front and the back, because they have this angle to them, and you're going to be able to see, unless I were to flatten them out, which I don't do, you're going to be able to see if you turn your hair comb even a little bit, that you can see the wings on the back side of our butterflies. Okay. Close the orange for a little while. And what I'm going to get out now is my black. This one is one of my older ones. It's a Sta. And we're going to take, since we finished this one up first, we'll start on it. And what we're going to do is take the black for its body. And then we're going to do the outside of our wings with the black to give them that monarch effect. Ooh, that went a little bit too much there, but that's all right. I can always get some of the marker out to take care of that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the coppery brown and go over the body a little bit. Actually, you know, I think I'm going to get the gold out and do it over the body a little bit. That will make it be a little more brown-like coloration. Or yellowy color. So there we go. That is our butterflies. Now I'm going to get my orange pen, because I don't really care for some of these, the black. So I'm going to go in and go over it a little bit with my orange. This obviously wasn't dry enough. It wants to try and merge, so we got to let it dry for a little bit longer. In the meantime, we'll flip them over and do the backs. We'll do the backs exactly the same way. Flip. Oh, getting this pulled down. It's pretty close here. Let's pull that back up this way. I'll let these dry for a little bit and we'll go on with the next step. However, these are probably dry enough here, all the other pieces, to take them out to the garage and spray them with their spray. Now, the spray I use, almost gone, but we have it, but I still have some, is some Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Enamel. This is what we're going to use to do our spraying. And let's see how you guys are looking. Okay. So we'll take these guys and we're going to go and spray these. So we will be back after I spray them, and I will take care of then bringing the leaves out and spray them, and then we'll complete the butterflies. Got those out in the garage drying now, and we're going to see if there's any spots that need to have a little bit of touch up on the back here, like here. Now, since this is a paint pen, if you push down, it will bring some more paint over. So we're going to flip these over now. And this one definitely needs some touch-up. This one a little bit, not as much as it did. It looked like I already did a little bit here. Come on, ink. Okay, we're getting a little black on the tip, so I did wipe that off some. And that's why it's filming up like that right there, because it got some black mixed in with the tip. So there is this butterfly finished. And get some more ink down, and we'll work on this butterfly. Now this wing got a lot more because I didn't want it right there, so that's why we'll... And when it smears together like this, that's fine because it actually makes it look more natural. If you look at a butterfly's wings, they're not real distinct color changes. They have these little, I want to call them spots where the color seems to be bleeding into each other. That's what we're doing here. We're doing the bleed. Now see how much better that looks when it doesn't have that really distinct line around it. So there's our butterflies until we get our last stage on. The last stage, like I said, is putting a little of what is called Prima paint on them, and that has to be brushed on with a paintbrush. And it is what's going to give them the little glittery effect to their wings. So that is the last stage, but I have to let it dry for a wee while at least. In the meantime, while that is drying some, we will get our alcohol ink out and alcohol ink these two pieces of light blue. Okay, this is the alcohol ink I use. We have ultramarine blue here, and I'm just gonna dab a few drops down here. And I'm going for this darker color because we are going for a night sky effect. So we'll just get the rest of this ink dabbed around on here. That's why I got this cotton pad out. It's got lots of ink on it. It has been used a bit. That one needs a little more. It's drying. Now, alcohol ink does dry quite quickly. This also needs to be sealed if you're going to wear it anywhere where it might get alcohol on it, because alcohol reacts to alcohol. That's why it's called alcohol. I'll show you what I mean as soon as we're get these taken care of and out being sprayed. Oops, a little more than I wanted, but that's all right. Soak it up with the pad and get it in the spots that it's not getting into, hopefully. This is where the moon and the hot air balloon are going to go on these two. This dark color is going to, this dark blue is going to simulate the night sky. Okay, do I have you just about everywhere? Now, it won't always go into all the grooves. Just do your best. And you can actually also give it a teeny squirt of alcohol if it starts to dry up some, and that will make it actually spread some. I'm gonna just show you what I mean here. This is alcohol in this bottle, just straight rubbing alcohol. See how that instantly went and changed and spread out some. And it got all wet over here. Now see, it changed the color though, to a different sort of blue. And that's all right, because the sky is not always the same blue, is it? So there's our Now, if you wanted to do specific spots and didn't want it everywhere, like I'm going for, you could take a paintbrush, dip it down into your tip of your alcohol ink, and those pretty. Now we're going to let these dry for a while. And then they need to be taken out and sprayed as well. Anyway, what I was saying, your paintbrush, you could take your paintbrush, just dip the tip. You want a relatively fine tipped paintbrush if you're going to do this. Dip the tip of your paintbrush into the top of your alcohol ink bottle and just carefully paint where you want it to be at. Now this is actually, I'm going to spray it in a bit with the alcohol, and then we'll rub it off with the tissue. It'll come off relatively well. I do it right now, but I don't want to spray our pieces again, and I want them to dry. So we're going to let those dry for a while. So those are pretty dry. Alcohol ink dries really fast. So now I'm going to take them out and give them some seal with the Krylon. Now, I do warn you, or the Rust-Oleum, I guess it is. Either works perfect. That the seal itself will change the color some, because I don't know if it's got alcohol in it or what, but anything that has alcohol in it will affect your alcohol ink. That's why I seal mine, because if you get alcohol on even your skin, if it's, certain perfumes and things, will cause the alcohol to run. So I'm going to go take these out and spray it, then we'll be back, clean this up, and then we will finish up the butterflies. Okay, I'm back from spraying those, and boy, you ought to have seen the alcoholic ink run with the Rust-Oleum spray. Well, this is the paint that we're going to use. It's called Ginger Magic on our butterflies, but before we get to the butterflies, let's get them out of the way here, because I don't want to accidentally spray them. Not that they have alcohol ink, so it's probably not a problem. We're just going to see how that just spreads out and that's just alcohol. I don't think it'll work on the regular paint, but will it? Oh, well, I guess so. That's why I guess I didn't want my butterflies on there. Look at all that lovely alcohol color that came off. But this is how you clean up from alcohol ink. Just spray some alcohol and take a cloth and wipe it off. Let your alcohol dry down so that it's not going to create a problem. And there we go. We're done cleaning our mat from our alcohol ink. Now we will just let it dry for just a moment. Won't take long. Alcohol does not take long to dry at all. You got to do things fast with it, because it will dry on you really quickly. So next step, pretty dry. And we don't bother with this step on the back side. As you can see, I didn't even bother with using the paint marker on the back side, though I probably should have to make it look a little better. Maybe I'll quickly do that. Let's flip it over and get the paint marker back out again, and we will do some melding here, so to speak. This one looked a little better with the black on it, but it's all right. It's really not going to be seen much. It's just if you turn the your head the right way, because these do not sit down flat, they sit at an angle like so. If you look from the side, you can see the painted sides here. So I'm not going to put the Prima paint on that side though. I'm only going to put it on this side. So we need a paintbrush. Come on, where's the paintbrush I usually use on these? There it is. I've got a slight angular one so that I can go up and down. And like I said, this is called Ginger Magic. Now, I've always been told that this is called Prima Paints, though it says Sparks right here. But we'll open this up, and it looks like it is sealed, but it's not. I've had it open many times, so we'll just dab some paint on our brush, grab one of our butterflies, and we'll go in and give it a little coat of the pretty sparkly paint. Doesn't need much. This is more to give it that sparkly effect than to actually give it color. I mean, it does give it color. It's a orangey color, but almost a pumpkin color. But it's more for the sparkles than anything as far as these butterflies are concerned. See the difference? Now this orange is a little lighter, but see the sparkle on those? Aren't those fun? So now we will go and do the other. Now I'm taking the paintbrush and getting it close to the body, because with the bigger marker I didn't always get that close to the body there, and we want the body to not, you know, we don't want it to be stand out. So there is our butterflies. Now these have to dry for a while, and then they have to be coated or sealed, whichever you want to call it. Now I got a little more paint here than I wanted, so I'm just going to take my finger and give it a rub to take some of that off. So there we go. So very simple, very fun, very easily done. I'm going to, if I can find where I stuffed my black marker at, I'm going to take and get just a touch of black around the edges again, because some of the rubbed off while we were painting. See how it's now more gold along the edges there? So we'll just put a little more black in there. And that's the last of our painting done. Now I need to go clean my paintbrush and put my go spray my butterflies in a bit, and then this portion of the video is done. This is painting our pieces. Okay, there we go. There is our first wave. They're not quite dry. They're a little sticky yet, so we probably will not put them together quite yet. The butterflies still need sprayed. I have not sprayed them yet. As you can see from my hand, it was still a sticky bit when I picked up one of those leaves. So now I have a nice shiny hand because it's dry down there, probably from the warmth of my skin. So we need to still spray the butterflies, get the alcohol inked pieces in. They were still drying. Like I said, these are still a touch wet, especially the leaves. They were the last thing we sprayed, if you'll recall. And so they're not quite ready to be put together yet because they're still just a touch damp. So, and the butterflies haven't been sprayed, and the alcohol ink ones are still damp out in the garage, so I still have to bring those in. So I think we're going to split this video in two, one the painted half and one the putting together half. So let's turn up and we'll chat for a few moments. There we go. That is our painting our pieces for our 3 hair combs. I will put in another video later for the putting together of the hair combs as soon as all of the pieces dry and we get a chance to do that. Tomorrow is our live, and we're gonna, per request, we're gonna do a little wire work. Probably gonna make some more earrings. I'm gonna make some twisted frames this time, so that'll be fun. So anyway, I'm going to let you go for right now. We'll come back later, and we're going to we'll put these pieces together once they dry. But in the meantime, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden.